Well, hello, my loves, and happy Sunday to you. I am on a journey with my journal page today. I'm not exactly sure where it's going to go, and that's okay. I have flip-flopped a few times, and I'm just going to let it take me where it's supposed to take me. And of course, that goes along with kind of the thought process and the theme and all of that. So let's go over what I've done so far. So I'm working in my handmade journal, and I've only got 2 pages left, which we're going to be completing. I'm so excited. So anyway, let's see. So for the background, I put down a bunch of papers, and I just printed out every postcard that I had. And partly because postcards signify to me that there is a message that I need to hear. And that's what our journals are for, to like be this place where we can come. And I shared a lot about that last week too, about trusting yourself. But so I put some postcards down. So let me grab. So I get these from the dollar store. These are like the large word search pages. Sometimes they're like 2 for $1. And I love them because 1, they're great for like the backgrounds. And 2, because, like on the side, the words that you're supposed to be looking for, some are really, really awesome. And I've used them a lot. There was one that I was like, okay, this is really good. Minister, mercy, inspire, help, generosity, faith. I'm like, okay. Charity, just all different kinds of words in here that can be used. Plus, it also has like numbers at the top that you can use. Not so steady. Oh man, I need to use that one. I might just cut that one out. I'm going to fold that over and think about that one. So I used that. I used a couple of other random pages that I had left over from last week. But mainly postcards, and then some of my word search pages and that kind of stuff. I'm trying to think if there's any other pages. I don't think so. Put those down with my fluid matte medium. And then I came back with my positive words, because I need those right now. And, it's like, do what makes you happy, just breathe. Creativity takes courage, all different kinds of things. So that's a good one. And then this one is my urban words, but it felt right. I know it might, when you see me put it down, it may not. You're like, what in the world? But it felt right, because my thought process for this is finding my way. And a lot of times there's lots of noise. There's lots of things saying, look here, do this, do that. So this one felt really great for the background. Plus, it gives me some really good numbers and different things like that. So I'm using these 2 stencils so far. There might be a few more that come, like some numbers. I have this one out too. I have, the dogs are going crazy. I have the old type text large out, and then I have some number ones out. I might end up putting some of those back in. You never know. So once I put all of that down, the stenciling and everything, and my papers, this is a door that I have in my stash. Because I thought this was perfect for finding my way. I came back with a square palette knife and kind of recreated maybe some of the blocks. Plus I went over the edge to integrate the photo into the page itself. And then, and I was using just my regular, Utrecht gesso. And then I kind of carried it out a bit. Used my regular palette knife down here to kind of put down kind of that ground area. And then I came back and I used my brayer to kind of soften this area over here. I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen over here. I had some ideas for some butterflies. I had some ideas for some leaves. That still might happen. what I really want to do is I want to try and just follow my heart for this page. And that is it. Then what I'll do is I'm going to, of course, come back over, add a little bit of color. I'm not exactly sure. It's going to be somewhat neutral, but this color on the door here has kind of a magenta. So I thought some magenta might be pretty in somewhere in the mix. Of course, some raw umber wash to kind of grungy this up, of course. And then I was thinking the door kind of has a little bit of green tint to it, so I thought maybe even just some tealy blue or even some Payne's gray blue, because there's that kind of Payne's gray in this. I'm not exactly sure yet. I might put some gray out here to kind of blend in the blocks. And my gray probably could consist of some Payne's gray and some black and some gesso. But that's really all I know at this point of where this page is going to go. Yeah. So that's where I'm at right now on this page, and I'm waiting. My gesso's not fully dry yet. But one of the things that I want to do with this page is just allow it to lead me. In last Sunday's inspiration, I talked about trusting yourself and how important that is if something isn't feeling right, and how sacred this space is. And so for me right now, the quote that I have for this is finding my way. And part of that has to do with, so I know I have shared over the last couple of weeks that we had a loss, a big loss in our family. And as we celebrated Thanksgiving, it was hard. It was really hard. And there isn't a prescription to grieving. There isn't a prescription to trial and trouble and all of the things that we end up having to go through life. Sometimes we just have to sit in the uncomfortable and find our way through it. Hopefully with some grace for ourselves and for those around us. And so as I was thinking about that, as we came home from Thanksgiving, it was really quiet around here, and I had a lot to do, and I just wanted to stay like a lump on the couch. And sitting with that, I continue to kind of go back to, I have just got to find my way through this. We all do, our whole family. And we each will find our way differently. And I kind of liken that to our own creativity as well. We all find our way through our projects and through our creative time and through all of those kinds of things our own way. We may get help along the way. We may get inspired by others along the way, but we actually have to either sit with the emotion or show up to the table. There is action required in some of that, in finding our way. And it's kind of where I'm at and where this is going. And that's part of the reason why I just showed up without a true plan for today, because I want to find my way through this. And if there are butterflies on it, or there's something else, rainbows, I don't know. That's okay. That's okay. We're all finding our way, our own way. And sometimes that takes time of quiet, and sometimes that takes time of action. And we each have to figure that out ourselves. And so whether you're creating with joy today, or you're creating with sorrow, or you're creating with health issues, whatever it might be, we each find our own way to process, to get through our things, and showing up for ourselves and for others and for our creativity. It all looks different for each one of us. And so today it's very different for me because I am usually very planned. Most of the time I have an idea. I have zero idea at this point. I saw the door as I was cleaning and thought that went with me thinking about finding my way. And that's all I had when I started. And I just chose some of the things that were on my table and around me just real quick. And then worked with the stencils that I had. And then that's where I'm at. So loves, I am finding my way through this season. I'll tell you, 2022 just, man alive. But I'm finding my way through this season. And however it looks is okay. And it won't be pretty. Maybe sometimes it will be. But most of the times it won't be. And that's okay. We each find our way wherever we are on our journey differently. All right, my loves. I hope you enjoy the rest of the project. I'm going to figure out where it goes. But today, I hope that you are finding your own way in whatever season you're in. And whatever that looks like, it's okay. And I hope that your Sunday is restful and peaceful. And I hope that you always, always know that you are loved. right, loves, I don't normally pop back in throughout the end of the video, but it is the next day, and I went to bed last night thinking about this piece and allowing myself to find my way through it, not necessarily having a plan. And so when I put the butterflies down, and then, you know, added a few marks and different things like that, it just didn't feel finished. So I decided to just let it rest, give myself some rest, and then see what happens in the morning. Well, it's the morning, and I actually dreamt about it, which I haven't done in a long time. And I was envisioning the butterflies as part of my finding my way, and the flight of the butterflies kind of thing. And so let me just show you what I've got out here. So here are my original butterflies up here, and I've cut out all these little tiny ones, and you can barely see them, but I'm going to shade them a little bit. But they slowly begin to get color up here. They're a little muted down here, but they're gaining their color up here. And I think that's my path in finding my way in the season that I'm at, and really represents what I wrote down here. And so super excited to do that and to add these butterflies to it. I'll be using my matte gel as I do that. And I know that they kind of disappear in here, and that's okay, because that's kind of the story. And of course I'll do some shading to kind of bring them forward a little bit. But I just wanted to let you know, like, because I edged everything. It looked like I was finished, and I kind of thought I was, but sometimes we just need some space from our journal page, and some space from the thoughts in our minds, in our lives, all of those kinds of things to kind of show us some direction. And I think it's a really, really valuable lesson in art and life. So I'm going to turn the camera on again and just put these down and finish everything up.